Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I don't want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for being killed.
My drop, I know my situation. I want to fight. But it's going to be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Good morning, America. Good morning, the United Kingdom. Good morning, boxing world. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and I am back with a spontaneous edition of #TBV podcast. And the heavyweight division is on fire. I mean, we spoke about it yesterday, and I woke up to numerous other headlines and quotes and videos and so much just happening this morning that I decided, why not? Definitely a lot to talk about. I'll give you all the details. We're here to discuss Tyson Fury and the fact that he believes a bout between him and Anthony Joshua resembles Muhammad Ali's Rumble in the Jungle with George Foreman. And, I thought it was quite interesting the way that he pieced it together. And I said to myself, well, you know what? I think I need to talk to my listeners, my boxing family, about this very same topic because, probably looking at it quickly, you think, oh, Tyson Fury makes no sense. He's fat. He's been out of the ring 2 years. He's tested positive for cocaine. He's living his life. He's not fit to box. And, that all may be true. But again, in using Tyson Fury's beautifully put metaphor analogy between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman and himself, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua, I'm going to go to his Instagram post where he posted a picture of Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman, Rumble in the Jungle, the 30th of October, 1974. And it was a picture of both men, obviously. And I should actually screen share this, right? Why not? Why not do that? Boom, boom, boom. So here we go. You should be viewing that. Let me just double check, make sure. All right. And let me see. Once that switches, I will continue to make sure that it switched for the live feed. But as you can see, that is the picture of Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. Now, here is where it gets interesting, is in Tyson Fury's caption. And all right, perfect. It is viewing to the live feed. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. Why? Because I'm sending a good morning to everyone here in the New York City area, the tri-state area, and in all the way over there in the Los Angeles. It's only 7:09, so good morning to you guys getting on your way to work. My New Yorkers, you're probably at work already, right? If not, on your lunch break. Shout out to everybody in Canada. Only 8:09 over there. All my Australians, they probably sleep, they're going to be waking up a little bit earlier. It's 1 a.m. over there. And where else? Where else are we missing? That's probably it, right? Omaha. Shout out to Terrence Crawford. I wanted to do this show on Terrence Crawford because of that welterweight division and the way that's heating up. But I figured Tyson Fury is more, it's the heavyweight division. So let's get to reading. This is what it's come to. The old champ coming back to fight a man who everyone thinks will KO me. Same as Ali versus Foreman, the stylish Ali versus the mummy Foreman. We all know what happened in that fight. I know you all got me whooped, but I will not lay down or be afraid of some muscle. And I have the mentality of a winner, a man who has never lost a fight, a true champion coming back to claim his throne. This is my era. They are from my time. I must destroy them. AJ and Wilder, I'm coming back for you pair. For you pair. My session is seek and destroy. The only thing on my mind is destruction. Whoever gets in my way will be dealt with accordingly. There's only one winner, and that's the fans. Let's make the heavyweight division. Let's make the heavyweights great again. Fight the best in the division. Fury equals the lineal champ. Joshua, he spelled it with an A, equals the IBF, IBO, and WBA. Wilder equals the WBC. Parker equals the WBO. To be fair, Parker is only a young lad and is not on my radar. He must gain experience and mature into a big, strong man. I hold my destiny in my own hands. May the best man win. Good luck, everyone. Let's get this party started. 2018, 2019, the world will see the best fights and see the true heavyweight king recrowned. And look, man, it's not like we haven't heard Fury say things in the past. We have. We've definitely have. But I started giving this some thought. And I said, hey, if anyone is in Tyson Fury's camp, they have to be looking at this and saying, look, even on the bad end of things for us, the fight fans, Fury could just come back for a payday, because let's just think about how big this payday is. Obviously, we'll never know the numbers until this gets announced, but what we do have are barometers and gauges. And we know that Joshua just made $21 million with Carlos Takam, and he made $20 million guarantee with Vladimir Klitschko. And if Vladimir, at the time, who had the vacant, he was just bringing a vacant title to the Anthony Joshua fight. He didn't really have the title. He was able to negotiate with the WBA to put it on the line. If he was able to get, 20 mil, what about Tyson Fury? An all London affair. I'm calling this one the new money fight. They said McGregor and Mayweather was the money fight, but I'm starting to think Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is the new money fight. Now, I know there's some details that we have to go over, right? Obviously, can Fury get it together? And I think that he could. Today's November 1st, all right? It's November 1st. He is a professional, former lineal champion, all right? I'm going to just use myself as a comparison, all right? I was 278 pounds when I decided I was going to work out and I was going to lose weight. And I don't have the luxury of sitting on millions and millions of dollars. I still have to get up every day, go to the work in the morning, and make sure that my 4 children are fed, clothed, and taken care of. So as a professional millionaire athlete, there is no doubt in my mind that by January, Tyson Fury could have the weight off if he got on a 90-day workout plan with nutritionists. These boxers are allotted the true benefits of life because of the accolades that they've achieved, which translates into dollar signs. So let's just be honest. When everybody's saying, oh, Tyson, look how fat he is, won't you stop for a second, look at yourself first of all, and then think about Tyson being able to get A, a chef, B, a nutritionist, C, a strength and conditioning coach, D, bring his trainer and uncle back to the ring and work out. Because what better way to lose weight than boxing? Boxing is such a heavy cardio exercise. You know, it's not like you stand around lifting weights if you know, you're a boxer. Yes, some people choose to, but that's not necessarily something that you must do. Boxing is jump rope, a lot of running, sprinting, sit-ups, you know, just so much cardio. Pad work is cardio. Bag work is cardio. So there's absolutely no doubt in my mind. I promise you. I think that if he wanted to, he could totally take that weight off. I'm not saying be ready for fighting shape, you know, in January, but by January, he could easily take off 40, 50, maybe even 60 pounds. Again, because I'm talking about myself, and I was able to shed 60. I was able to shed 60 with no strength and conditioning coach, you know, no fancy foods. My humble blue-collar salary got me to shed 60 while working and being a boyfriend and a father to 4 children and trying to run a business. So don't give me that bullshit. For 20 million, which is, let's be honest, that's honestly just the icing on the cake. We're not talking pay-per-view buys, and that fight is bigger than Vladimir. It's an all UK affair. So he can totally get up. So now I know there's still more naysayers. Oh, it's not just the weight. It's not just the weight. Anthony Joshua, he's busy. He's got mandatories. There's other things out there. You're absolutely right. There are other things out there. There are. But let's just be honest. Mr. Eddie Hearn, there are articles out there already. You can check them yourself. Mr. Eddie Hearn has already contacted Tyson Fury. There's these pieces of the puzzle are starting to fall together, and it's left to us to put them together and make sense of it. And now it makes sense for Tyson Fury to be jogging yesterday, sending social media messages. Eddie Hearn probably called him and told him, look, this is a $30 million fight, my man. Get the fucking shape. What are you going to do? Wait till Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder gets made? No. You got to get in there before that. Because let's just be honest. If AJ gets outboxed to Tyson Fury, which a lot of us probably think that he will, based off the Takam fight and based off Tyson Fury's ability and what he was able to do in that Vladimir Klitschko fight, I mean, he didn't go down. It wasn't as exciting as Anthony Joshua, but Fury did not suffer any of the trauma or, you know, fear to his fans, right? Because when Joshua went down, his fans got nervous. We didn't know what to think. I mean, you see my immediate and live reaction to that as we called it live. So, yeah, I mean, I really think that this fight is possible. There are plenty of things in play. A lot of us feel that maybe Joseph Parker is the next target for Anthony Joshua, but that's not necessarily true, right? Because Povetkin, I believe, and Hammer might be the mandatory to Joseph Parker after that fight. And you know that Povetkin and his team, well, they bring a shitload of money, right? I mean, when they fought Vladimir Klitschko, they did a purse bid of like 25 million, if I'm not mistaken. Something big. It's always good to have my producer here, but he's not. So let's get on to the biggest issue that boxing fans have when thinking of a possible Tyson Fury return or Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. They obviously bring up might draw a blank here. Oh, the license. The license, right? So it's like, yo, Ness, for this to be a money fight, it has to take place in the UK. Both of these guys are from the UK. Both of these guys are big in the UK. It has to take place in the UK. Tyson Fury absolutely has to fix his issues with the BB or C. Now, I before we move on, and I don't have any co-host to remind me because I'm about to light this L again and I might lose my train of thought. But listen, before we move on, I said that specifically for this. If that man wants to do a little bit of coke, now I'm not condoning that. I absolutely never ever want to live in a world where my children are doing coke, even if it's a party drug, whatever these kids think is cool these days, right? But someone could say the same thing about me lighting up this L. And depending what neck of the woods you're from, you might call it a joint, a spliff, a blunt. What else? I guess white people say joints, whatever. The point is, someone could be looking down at me because I choose to indulge in marijuana. And obviously, a lot of us are looking down at Tyson because he chooses to indulge in cocaine. Now, I'm not trying to say that they're anywhere near the same. I mean, obviously, cocaine has very long-term damage and it can just ruin your life and it just is bad, all right? It's not really a comparison. But what I'm saying is, not everyone that does coke turns into a fucking coke head or a crack head or a fiend for that matter. And, depending where you're at, fiend means a junkie, okay? So if Tyson Fury did a little coke and tested positive, all right. Now, again, there are others that may say, well, he's a heavyweight, so you can't even say he did it as a masking agent. Maybe he did the coke to cover up a diuretic to get shredded a little bit more. Who fucking knows, all right? But at the end of the day, how long does his license have to be suspended based off that? Based off that, how long? So fuck him. BBB or C, fuck him. I already said, like I told Wilder, and I know that, I feel like I'm part of this puzzle. I don't think that it's just Eddie Hearn contacting Tyson Fury, because if you watch Tyson Fury's social media posts, he says, Deontay Wilder, you counted me out. And obviously me and Wilder did an interview where I asked Wilder, would he extend an olive branch to Tyson Fury and invite him to his camp? And he said that he would, but he feels that Fury has lost the passion for boxing. So he specifically said that he's coming back to whoop both. And he's going to keep his word to Wilder and beat him. So the bottom line is Tyson Fury doesn't have to get a license in the UK, not even for the Anthony Joshua fight. I know Northern Ireland, according to our APs, says that is part of the UK, but there's another part of Ireland that isn't, that they can just host the fight there and it will still be just as big. I guess we would have to find out specifics on arenas, but again, Northern Ireland is considered boxers get licensed under the UK BBSC in Northern Ireland, which is where Frampton fights at. But if all those people go to see Frampton there, I don't know. I'm not you guys know I'm not good with the fucking atlas or anything else. I don't know how far Ireland and Northern Ireland and the other part of Ireland are, but I'm pretty sure they could fucking host the fight. If you're talking about this fight resembling, Rumble in the Jungle, well, Ali was one to fight in many different countries in different territories. So I think that this is totally possible. Totally. And again, Fury can definitely get in shape by the beginning of January. I mean, for anybody, I want someone to, logically tell me how he can't be in shape. And remember, I'm saying loses at least 60 to 50 pounds by January 30th. Tell me how that's not possible. How? When this man is rich, and he doesn't have to be filthy rich. He's rich enough to hire everything he needs. Strength and conditioning coach, nutrition cook. Fuck, hell, he could hire a motivator. If he wants, I wake up every morning with him. Let's go, champ. They don't want to see you win, champ. They don't want to come back and see you as the lineal champ of the world champ. They don't want you to reclaim your throne, champ. Let's go, champ. I'll wake his ass up. I'm telling you, because it's a big fight is all I'm saying. Listen, I'm going to go to my sponsors. It's an early morning spontaneous show. Shout out to everybody in Los Angeles and the LA, California area. It's only 7:25 over there. You're going to work with TBV. Get your coffee. You know, hopefully you got your iTunes pumping in the car, or your TuneIn radio, your Stitcher. And if you don't, today you just heard you could actually catch the show live from your car using those applications. All my New Yorkers is early over here, but y'all about to go on lunch in another hour and a half. London just had lunch and, you know, about to get off work. And Canada, still bright and early. Get them coffees. Let me get out to my sponsors, and then we'll go to the callers. Remember the number, 1425-569-5241. Press 1 right now if you want to voice your people on this, if you want to voice your opinion on the Voice of the People hotline on this topic. And you can call me internationally, absolutely free from whatever country you're in, by adding Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's NESTORGIBBS on Skype. Let's go.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
All right, we got no producer, so I'm riding solo. 415. Man, that sounds so familiar. Maybe Larry, right? I'm not sure. 415, good morning. What's going on? Who's this?
Hey, good morning. I didn't know you was coming to me first, so come back to me. I'm in the store.
All right. Well, that was Larry. I'm getting better. I'm going to go to Always Ready. This got to be him. What up?
The one and only, first one here, last one to leave. You already know what it is, fellas. Listen, this fight between Joshua and Fury will be so awesome. And I'm not just saying that. I think the implications of it, if we look at the heavyweight landscape, the common opponent is Klitschko. Fury had a more decisive and a more definitive, even though Joshua won by knockout, I still think a lot of people would say Fury had a more decisive and definitive victory, which is why we were so high on him. I mean, it was a lineal takeover. The fight between those two guys, I mean, and I don't see Joshua dominating Fury. He's the fresher guy. He's in there. I stated my criticisms on Joshua, not to criticize his ability overall, but I think Joshua doesn't have an easy fight, even though his power is real good. He doesn't have an easy fight with Fury. That, in turn, would make Wilder and Parker a much more appealing fight. And then we talk about bringing all them fucking straps together. Ness, I like your breakdown this morning. You was just coming across so Jersey-centric. You had to break down the phonetics of it. You had to explain what an L was. And, so this show is it just got my blood pumping quite early. And I think that if Fury is serious about that fight, man, I mean, they could have it anywhere. I mean, if Joshua wanted to really expand his audience, they could have the fight in Nigeria. I think he's of Nigerian heritage. Have the fight in fucking the capital of Nigeria.
I think that's a little bit
off. I think it would be.
I think that's a little bit to do more than just that. I've actually been asking a lot of promoters that question since, this show is like sparring when I go out there in the real world, which I'll be interviewing a dozen fighters today for the media workout. Deontay Wilder. I mean, just everybody's going to be there. Ken Porter, Sean Porter, Adrian Granados. I mean, everybody is really going to be at this one. Bermaine Stavern, Wilder, even Sergey Lipinets. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel because there are going to be some very hardcore interviews. I know a lot of these other channels, they really don't, they stick to the more popular names. We like to give you everybody, especially the up-and-comers like Lipinets, who pretty soon will be a world champion. That being said, Fury absolutely can get this done, and I believe in him. The other tie to the Rumble in the Jungle is that Ali was out for 3 years due to the draft dodging, if you want to, call it that. I mean, technically, I guess that's what it is, right? So Fury takes his inspiration from that, because Ali was stripped of his heavyweight title the same way that Fury kind of was exiled. And Ali had to stay out of boxing for 3 years, kind of like Fury's been out of boxing for 2 years. And Joshua was considered the young and big puncher, kind of like Foreman is considered the young and big puncher. So, I mean, I really like Fury, his storyline, the way that he's seen this, and I believe he can make it happen. But, I mean, let me get to some other callers, brother. Thanks, as always, for sticking around and obviously for the kind words of enjoying the show, because, listen, man, as excited as you are, that's how I felt, and I'm like, man, I gotta open up this show. I want to talk about this. This division is on fire. Like I said, later on this afternoon, I'll be interviewing some of the other heavyweights in this division. And we just had Joshua fight. We're gonna have Wilder fight. Parker just fought Huey Fury. So it's really on fire. I did want to bring up one thing, right? Because Fury is intelligent to hang on to his lineal title, right? And in this division, the fight fans love to criticize, but I think that every single heavyweight in this division could be criticized and critiqued. It's not that heavy. Brandon Shrubs was having an interview with Deontay Wilder, and he made a great point, and I said, you know what, we need to bring that up. If you go through anyone's resume, there's not a lot of guys. There's only about 6 top heavyweights, and they're not really all facing each other, so everyone basically has the same resume. Some of these guys have the same fighters on their resume. It's funny though, because I was watching also like the Deontay Wilder All Access to the Bermain Stavern first fight, and I remember the build up to that fight and how people, obviously they still do not, but back then did not believe in Wilder and thought that, he hadn't fought anybody, and Stavern was supposed to be quote unquote the test. And now he is not the test, and I think that for all of these guys, they are each other's tests, because Tyson Fury presents a unique style. That's a big man, like in retrospect now, watching Anthony Joshua, even though it was an exciting fight, he went down. And thinking back to Tyson Fury, a 6'7" guy, kind of fucking floating around the ring on ice skates, it might, I guess in theory, thinking about it, it might be impressive. I don't fucking know if I can sit through it. I'm sorry, Tyson. I did try to sit through it the first time. It was a little bit difficult. Let me get out to the UK, to one of our APs and good friends over here that make sure we keep this show running.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
BJ was gonna beat me, didn't you? You think he's gonna beat me? He got smashed.
Why is Wilder so that nice, brother? This guy has been pro for like 8 years, 9 years. If Wilder wants some of his work, you can definitely get it on ASAP.
BoxingVoice.com.
Rob, good morning, but well, good afternoon to you in the UK. How are you?
Yeah, good man, good. Yeah, when Eddie Hearn said this after the Takam fight, the Josh Tyson Fury, it raised a lot of eyebrows, because we've all seen Tyson, every now and then popping back up on social media and this, that, and the other, and everyone's sort of, yeah, whatever. You're just the big fat guy that's saying all these things, but are you really coming back? And I know there's a big sort of battle going on regarding his license. One side saying we're waiting to hear from Fury's legal team, and then Fury's team saying no, this is lies, we're going to issue a statement. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that, just to see what's happening there. But obviously this is a huge fight in the UK. I mean, if it like you doubling with the idea of him getting a license in Ireland. Obviously, Dublin, I think they've got a pretty big rugby stadium there, so that that would hold more than enough people to go along with this Rumble in the Jungle theory idea. I mean, it's just a huge fight, and like you say, money wise, I checked it out. The Povetkin Klitschko was $23 million. I mean, what would this be? I mean, it would be just insane numbers, I think. And it's just the biggest fight out there, I think, that could be made if it was possible. But it's all down to Fury and whether he's going to hire Nestor Gibbs as his motivational coach.
Man, I think he could do it. No, I mean, seriously speaking, you've watched now with Border Wars, and these guys on Border Wars are nowhere on the level of a professional fighter. They don't have the finances. They don't have the time. And you've watched them shed pounds. How can a guy with a minimum of $20 million, his purse minimum would be $20 million. How could you not get up for this? Mind you, he probably is going to be the favorite. He can possibly win, and then there's another 20+ million. As an A side, he would get another 20+ million for the Wilder or the Joseph Parker fight or the fucking rematch. Get up for this. Get up for this, Tyson. Hear me now, Tyson. Like I said in the Wilder interview, bro, come to the U.S. and train over here. You don't need a license over there. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need a license. He could easily sign a Eddie Hearn, Matchroom USA, and be fucking on HBO like this. Like this. They'll take him. He don't need it.
I guess it's down to Wilder, like what Wilder said. Is his heart in it? Is his head in it? It's I guess people can put themselves physically through a camp and get into shape, but if the mind's not right or the desire's not there, I guess it's just down to him. But
wow, the chat is saying he would get 50 million. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not saying that that's not feasible, because we all know that Floyd McGregor got 30 million guarantee. Floyd got 100 million guarantee. So hey, man, that is probably feasible, depending who's going to package that fight. So I can't even, get at that. But listen, Rob, let me get to some others. Go ahead and finish up anything you got.
No, just it's a big fight. Like you said, the heavyweight division's kind of really catching fire now, and there's a lot of big fights out there. But I don't know if there's any bigger than Joshua and Fury. But yeah, move it along there. So I'll speak to you soon.
All right, brother. Let me get back to Larry, who is ready in San Francisco. Larry, good morning, brother. Talk to me.
Hey, good morning. Big up to the Boxing Voice. Hey, what was it, too early for Matt? He didn't want to get up this early?
I mean, I'm sure he would have got up. I did try him via text and phone call, but I mean, the 3 hours is the 3 hours, right? I don't know. And plus, he's a young guy. He's probably out there partying. Who knows, man?
Yeah. Good save. We both know he's still in bed, but it's all good. Hey, first of all, LOL at Tyson Fury comparing himself to the Rumble in the Jungle. Muhammad Ali whooped Sonny Liston and defended the title for 5 years before he got suspended. Tyson Fury had an uninspiring 86 punch landed victory against Vladimir Klitschko and is trying to call himself in that same category. Please get out of here with that. With that said, I would love that fight. I can't wait to see Joshua and Fury fight. And Fury, if he's right, definitely has a chance to win that fight. But yeah, bro, you got to do more than that to put yourself anywhere near categories like that. But yeah, hopefully they do it right where Fury gets a couple of fights in to get in shape and get sharp, and they do that fight at the end of 2018 or at the beginning of 2019. But otherwise, hey, once again, I appreciate the shows as always, and I'm out.
Larry, really quick, just your guess. Can he lose 50 to 60 pounds by January?
By January?
Yes.
I mean, sure, it's possible, but losing that weight and then being ready to fight are two different things. So sure, he can lose the weight, but them trying to do that fight early next year it isn't wise, in my opinion.
All right. Well, no, obviously not doing it early next year. I'm saying, but thanks again for calling in and rocking out with us early in the morning. I'm saying just be in shape by January. You know, it's November 1st. You got 30 days. Then you got December, another 30. January 30th, that's another 30. We're talking 90 days to shed the weight and make these tweets and future tweets more realistic, you know, make them threats. Okay. Really quick, I want to shout out Tea Time Boxer sending us a good morning super chat saying, what's up, TBV? What's up to you, Tea Time Boxer? Thank you for the super chat. You know that those super chat obviously help us make sure this channel gets to media workouts today, like Deontay Wilder's and Bermain Stavern, Sergey Lipinets, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, shit, I go from New Jersey to New York every time. You know, that is a different state. Looks like Matthew the Hipster Hunter will be joining us. Listen, Rob, I want to ask you really quick. You didn't tell me, do you think he could get ready in 90 days? Not fighting shape, but can he lose the weight that people laugh at by January 30th, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think he could do it. It's just like I said, I think it's whether he's got his mind in the right place or that, but physically, just to get in shape, certainly. I mean, you were saying about the Border Wars guys, people are shedding pounds without the, you know, people have got jobs, people are, you know, stretched by money and things like that. If the desire's there, people can shift weight, no problem. It's just getting that mind right. But yeah, for sure, I think he could do it. And like you say, if he does, suddenly those tweets and the shit talk and whatever, I mean, Fury for sure is going to sell this fight. If he gets in shape and it's going to happen, I don't think pay-per-views and selling seats is going to be a problem, because we know what he brings to the table when it comes to press conferences. And
absolutely. I mean, who could forget this guy in a Batman suit fighting out of the Joker in front of Vladimir Klitschko, or taking his shirt off and showing the blubber in the second one. Listen, we got a bunch of callers. We're going to get on down the line. We're going to the 407 Orlando, Florida. Is this Majid?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, my friend. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. Just had to jump in on this call because, I mean, I feel like Anthony Joshua owed Tyson Fury this fight because he got that belt on a little vacancy. He got Tyson Fury's fame from beating Klitschko. You know, I just felt like at this point, you know, I don't know if Tyson Fury going to do a fight before, you know, just to make sure that he ready for that fight. But I'm excited if that fight do happen. And if I had to choose, I would go with Tyson Fury because he's boxing and he ain't showing no signs of getting tired of nothing. So that would be my pick. And I do think that he could lose that weight in that short period of time, you know. He said on that Instagram tweet also that, you know, he motivated by people saying that he can't. So, I mean, I think that he could do it. I think he could make the weight. I think that Anthony Joshua gaining more weight and showed stamina problems against the little guy. So, Takum. So, I mean, I think that Tyson Fury could do it. And I think that this match is owed to him. You know, Joshua just keeping his belts warm. You know, but that's how I feel about that. And that's all I got.
Majid, well, thanks for calling in, man. You have yourself a great morning, and thanks again for being part of the show. We're going to the 413. Remember, no producer. 413, you're live with me. Who's this? Good morning.
How we doing, Nestor? This is Fish from Boston.
Fish, what's going on, brother?
First thing, I don't want to hear the Klitschko comparison, because it's fair to say that Fury got a different Klitschko, the boring Klitschko. That was one of the most boring fights I've ever seen. Joshua got the exciting version. So he went out on top. Klitschko went out on top as far as I'm concerned. Secondly, we're talking the grand scope of this thing is the heavyweight division, and Eddie Hearn comes out and he says after the Joshua fight that the three fights he's looking for are Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Joseph Parker in 2018. Parker is more than likely going to fight Christian Hammer as a mandatory. Wilder is going to be fighting Stiverne and then probably going into the Dillian White situation. And for the note, I'm a Wilder guy. And then Joshua, the thing that bothers me is that he throws out everybody but his number one ranked IBO contender in Alexander Povetkin. And I don't personally know where Luis Ortiz stands out here because he's number one in the WBA. I don't know if the WBA is going to agree with whatever the WBC does with Ortiz. So for me, Tyson Fury's been talking for 2 years, and that's all he's been doing is talking. So I would rather see him fight somebody and then go into a Joshua fight. It'd be dumb on his part to go in straight into a Joshua fight. That fight is a UK fight.
Couple of points here, Fish.
Anywhere else.
Couple of points here. Hammer's not 100% to fight Parker because he has to beat Povetkin, who somehow got into that eliminator, right? And man, what was that last one? Oh, you just said something else. All right, well, I guess that's what.
Very quickly, wasn't Ortiz?
Oh, he's awake.
I am awake. Hi, everyone. Ortiz was already named. He was already taken off as mandatory status.
He was already taken off a mandatory status, he says, Fish.
Yes.
All right. So, anyways, one last thing. The only fight in the heavyweight division, the only fight that means anything to me that I care about is Wilder and Joshua. And that's it. I mean, Fury Joshua is a huge fight, but it's a UK fight. I'll be interested in the story there. But at the end of the day, it's a huge UK fight. I'm sick and tired of seeing Wilder get ducked because, as far as I'm concerned, he's the best heavyweight in the planet. Woo! I look forward to chopping up your guys' preview later, and I got a lot of strong points for that. So I'll call in later when you guys preview the fights for this weekend. Thanks, man.
All right, brother. Well, Fish, thanks for calling in. And I think that's Thursday because today's only Wednesday. Even though we're pumping out shows every day, it just feels like we're always here, which I love. All right. But my co-host is here now. Let me switch. Go ahead to camera mode.
Hi.
How are you there, buddy? Good morning.
It's early. No coffee, no breakfast.
Wow.
No protein shake,
No,
nothing.
but we had a lot of West Coast callers, Matt. You're going to have to start putting an alarm on because all these West Coasters are out here up and early, bro.
It was Halloween last night. I'm sorry I'm not 40 years old like Larry. And Larry wanted to talk shit, Larry. I heard that call, Larry. I'm coming for you on Twitter. Don't worry about it. But it's 7:30 or 7:40 a.m. My bad.
Yeah, yo, listen. This is what
It's early.
This is what Patreon had always told them, that we wanted to give them a morning show. I woke up this morning so early, bro. It was like 6 something my time. And I'm just going through all this news, and it's like, damn, this heavyweight division is on fire. Wilder was on ESPN multiple times. Joshua was plastered on ESPN multiple times. And every other boxing outlet had plenty of stories. But then when I noticed that Eddie Hearn reached out to Fury and there was confirmation of that, I said, wait a minute. You know, these occurrences have to mean something. And I needed to piece them together for the listeners in our public because Fury doing his wobble jog yesterday, I'm starting to believe it more. I mean, if Eddie Hearn gives you a call and says, hey, guess what? 21. What's that, Eddie? 21 is the lowest, okay? That's the guarantee. 21, because you tell me if Vladimir and Anthony both got 20. Now Anthony gets 20 for Takam. You telling me Fury, Anthony? Because I want to let you in on this whole conspiracy that I'm cooking up here. But is this not a big enough fight for a guy to shed 60 pounds?
Absolutely. And it's the money. Money is always key. Like this is a business first. Most of these fighters are business first minded. 20, 30, 40 million dollars guaranteed. So that all you have to do is show up.
Pay-per-view upside, Matt. Like, how don't you lose the weight? How are you not out there like this right now? Like $21 million. And what if he gets $2 more dollars for all the pay-per-views? And guess what? Last time out, Anthony Joshua and Vladimir did 1.5 was fucking Pacquiao's record. And they broke that. Times $2 to the guy who everyone's calling fat. That's how you motivate yourself to lose the weight.
And let's be honest, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua would do 2 million pay-per-view buys in the UK at least. That fight would be mega. That would be the biggest fight in UK history, in my opinion.
You said something important. You said UK, right? So I was talking to the guys, and I'm like, everybody's like, oh, this can never happen because of the license. But
no, it can. The BBOC just said that they have a date in mind for Tyson Fury if he wants it to have the hearing or whatever. I believe I saw a headline or something about that.
The thing with Fury is he doesn't want to have the hearing because then he'll still have to get the suspended for the coke.
Here's the thing. Tyson Fury has some mental issues, and he may be his own worst enemy. So it may be time that not Peter Fury, somebody else, somebody not in the fucking family, wakes up, goes to Tyson, goes, look, you have some mental issues, obviously. You are bipolar, you are a drug addict, you are vastly overweight. So obviously, you may not be the mental fortitude to drop that weight and be dedicated to the sport. So let's get you in the right frame of mind. Let's get you away from these people, these influences. You need somebody there in that team that is.
That's what I told Wilder. That's why I said, why don't you go train with someone? You can't go train with Billy Joe Saunders because guess what? You can't spar Billy Joe Saunders. There's not going to be a competitive nature. If you go to the enemy, think of that storyline. While Wilder's simultaneously building his resume to get into this super fight with Anthony Joshua, Fury is with him, or they're together, and Fury's getting his warm-up fight. Because I'm saying get ready for January, not the fight. Lose 60 pounds by January. That's 90 days for a millionaire to hire a cook, a nutritionist, a strength and conditioning coach, and even Nestor Gibbs as his personal motivator to wake him up every morning. Let's go, champ. They don't want to see you as the lineal champ again, champ. Let's go, champ. Well, we could get it. We could do this easy, Tyson. Easy.
Yeah. I think the problem is that Tyson and Peter Fury and all the Furies view the fans being upset at Tyson as hate. And it's not really hate. I think most fans know that a Tyson Fury-filled heavyweight division is a more exciting one.
Yeah, no, it's not hate for me. It's more like
disappointment.
Back.
It's disappointment. We know.
I didn't like the way that he dropped the belts. To me, I always felt like he ducked Klitschko. Like he got that win, and he's like, "Fuck that! I'm not about to let him get that tie."
I wouldn't say duck.
And
to me, it looked like a guy who obviously was going through some shit, and the pressure of being a world champion got to him. That's what looked like.
I could look at it that way, just slightly different. It could be a guy who got that big ass payday and just started blowing cash, partying hard. A lot of champions party too hard.
That's true, and he definitely partied hard. I mean, cocaine.
Cocaine is a party drug for the Caucasian community. So yeah, he fucking was out there partying. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I still believe that he could get it off.
Absolutely.
He could get it off. At least 90 days from now, if he's 60 pounds lighter, Matt, those tweets, you're believing him all of a sudden. And I'm talking Matthew Hunter.
Absolutely.
You're believing him.
Absolutely. Tyson Fury is a world-class athlete. He can easily be a world-class athlete again. It's just about dedication. It's about putting the work in. It's about being in the right frame of mind. I don't know if he's there yet.
Let's get out to Anthony, one of our fighters on TBV Border Wars. Anthony, Queen City Cobra. What's going on, brother?
What's up? Yeah, so I kind of like that analogy that he made, even though what Ali did was leaps and bounds. It was just something different, it meant something more. But I kind of like that. And before, every time Fury was talking about coming back, I just didn't believe him. But this time, I feel like he's serious. I think he's motivated. I think he can lose the weight, honestly, because you're right. I mean, it doesn't like he has a 9 to 5. Like, I mean, in the month and a half I've been in camp, I lost 12 pounds already. So there's no reason why a world-class athlete can't lose 50.
Tell me about it, bro.
3 months.
A guy that doesn't have to pay for babysitter. You know what I mean? A guy that doesn't have to get up at 8 in the morning to punch the clock. Hey,
That's the truth.
Hey, Queen City Cobra, if we paid your next month, your checks for the next month, right? If you get paid weekly and they gave you 4 checks, exactly what you're getting paid, how much better shape can you be in?
Yo, I would be a 154 pounder, no questions asked.
Exactly. I just don't get it.
I'm already wait. I'm actually out in Denver right now, getting this mile high air. I'm about to train a little bit up here. I'm gonna try to shoot over to Colorado Springs, but
you about to get that 147-pound spawn with Bud Crawford? You know he be training in
Oh
Colorado.
yeah, I'm gonna see if he up there. Yeah, I'm gonna see if he up there. Got to get high off this altitude too, Mike. I can't leave that.
Oh, yeah. I know what altitude you about to get high off of. that Mike Alvarado. Listen, Anthony, man. You got anything else before we let you go?
Nah, that's about it.
All right, brother. Well, thanks again for calling in. Have a good morning over there. And yeah, man. Listen, Matt.
Yes.
You came on late, bro. So I really want to give you the show. I don't know if you know that the entire show was based around Fury's comparison to the Rumble in the Jungle. And I guess initial thoughts. What do you think of that when he says, "Oh, my fight with Anthony Joshua resembles Muhammad Ali in Rumble in the Jungle with George Foreman"?
2 different points. My personal opinion, I love it. I love when current fighters say, we're going to be those legends or we're going to be better than them. I always love that. To me, that shows that they have drive, that they want something. They want to be great. They want to be legends. I don't like when Joshua says, I can't be as good as them. I don't like that personally. I think that limits you in your mind. As a fan, as just a fan of the sport, you're always going to look at somebody comparing themselves to those legends side-eye. Like, you haven't done that yet. You haven't showed us that yet. So don't say it yet. Go do it. And then you can say, I'm Ali, and this is like Rumble in the Jungle. Go do that. But until then, you're always going to receive hate and sort of a like a nose up in the air when a Tyson Fury says that, because it's not happening. You're 350 pounds, dude. Like, until it is realistic, we can't look at it realistic. And until it happens, we can't look at it like it's an actual fact. It's fantasy right now. So I've a dichotomy of how I perceive it. But I think it's one of those things that you just say. It's one of those hot topic things, or not hot topic, hot phrases. Rumble in the Jungle, Muhammad Ali. Like, people know those things. Casuals know those things. My grandmother walking down the street knows what Rumble in the Jungle is. That's how synonymous it is with pop culture. So when you say that, the casuals know. They know what you're talking about. So maybe that's what he's trying to do, and just galvanize that casual fan base. But I don't have too many points on it. Since it is the end of the show, we have no more callers. We can always wrap it up whenever, Ness. It is early for me. I am tired.
Damn, he's gonna go back to bed.
No.
And I said, "Oh, this guy's going to the gym." I was about to say hard work, dedication.
I am going to the gym.
He's lying. If he stands up, guys, he's in boxes under there.
I'm in sweats. Sweats. And guess who's coming to the gym today?
Young Sal.
Yeah, Iron Sal's coming to the gym.
Is Young Sal coming to get some Matt the Hipster, a la Prince Nassim Hamed work?
So you want to hit that breaking news soundbite very fast?
I still haven't found that shit.
Oh my God.
Before you get into that off-topic stuff, let me get the Beanie, who I'm pretty sure is going to talk about some Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Beanie, I don't know if you've been listening anywhere else other than on Skype. If not, you're probably not filled in on what we're talking, but you're live.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's you can kind of obviously see the parallels there between in terms of styles and the kind of historical, as you mentioned, like how obviously Ali was out the ring for a while, then you had the up and coming power puncher coming through. The only difference is I don't think it's going to be the same outcome. I don't know what you guys think about the outcome, but how you'd favor that fight.
Yeah, that's what I said in my breakdown. I said pretty much now, after the Takam fight, everyone is going to lean to Fury because, I mean, in retrospect, even though I didn't like the 84 punch fight with Fury and Vladimir, I mean, you look back thinking now, Matt, and it's like, wow, that kid was on skates versus Vladimir, where this one had life and death situation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because Fury looked like he was in an ice skating ring in an Olympic competition in that ring.
No one's ever questioned Tyson Fury's boxing skill. There's never been a question about that.
Wouldn't you say, though, that isn't it fair to say that possibly AJ faced a better Klitschko? Because, Klitschko said he had the thing with his, wife having depression or whatever, and his preparation wasn't great for that fight. And obviously he was, he even said himself he was super motivated.
I can see that argument, but go ahead, Matt.
I think it's bullshit. He fought Klitschko 2 years younger. He fought Klitschko, in his undefeated reign at that time. I think that it's ridiculous to say that Joshua fought the better one. It was a better fight because of styles. Styles make better fights.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, I can see that argument, but I could also see the argument that Joshua fought the older, less motivated Klitschko.
Lower version of Klitschko, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the older point's valid, although I think that I think he was definitely more motivated for Joshua because he obviously knew it was basically his last chance. It was probably going to be his last chance at winning the world title again, really. So I think that whereas maybe I don't know, it's obviously difficult to say, but it's a point worth mentioning. The other thing I wanted to say, Ness, is can you ask Wilder today at the workout whether what split he's willing to take versus Joshua? Because obviously he's been out there saying I want to fight Joshua, but he never really says like what he's prepared to do to make the fight happen. What split is he prepared to take to actually get the fight happen? Because maybe if he goes to Eddie Hearn, AJ, and says I'll take 25% split, maybe it will happen next. Obviously everyone has their price with anything. If you offer someone X amount,
I highly doubt he's ever gonna give me a percentage on camera. But he's already been very honest in saying that Joshua's the A side. He said he's willing to do what they want. If they want to fight in New York, they'll fight in New York. They want to fight in UK, they'll fight in the UK. It doesn't matter to him.
Yeah, I understand that, but obviously, like kind of Dillian White and Eddie Hearn have put out the offer to him. I think
but that's a different situation because obviously the Dillian White, him making a counter offers because Dillian White has no star power. Dillian White isn't Joshua. Like, you can't really, you have room to negotiate with Dillian White because Dillian White needs Deontay Wilder. There's not too much negotiating room with Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua does not need Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder and team understand that. Let's say Eddie put out an offer today, right? Or Saturday night, right? They sent them a phone call and they said, listen, the offer is, let's say Takam got 5. Let's say they offered Deontay 10. Not guaranteed, not a Golden Boy Triple G fucking stronghold offer. No, we're going to give you 10. We're going to give you pay-per-view upside. The fight's going to be in the UK. You're going to generate more, blah, blah, blah. Right? Mm-hmm. Deontay, who's already quoted in the media, according to you and others, saying that he wanted $7 million for Dillian White, could easily say, fuck that. I told you I wanted 7 for Dillian. I'm not taking 10 for Joshua, right? And that'd be it. Joshua could move on because guess what? Joshua still has Fury. Joshua still has Parker. Joshua still has Povetkin. I mean, so many people will stick their hand up and say, please, Joshua, pick me. So Wilder doesn't have the room. Like, it's just you Joshua fans causing this rhetoric as if he is a hard negotiator when in every interview I've seen or I've done personally with him, he understands he's the B-side. And when you understand that, you know that you don't have any negotiation power.
No, but do you not think if he at least attach an offer to his words, it would give him
that would just calm down the boxing fight fans. But Eddie Hearn has Heyman's number. Obviously, Heyman is a Danny Jacobs client, right? Or employer or whatever the hell the proper term is. So Eddie definitely knows how to get in touch with Deontay Wilder and his team.
Mm-hmm. Just one quick question. Do you think Al Heyman wants that fight for the Wilder next? Do you think?
Absolutely. Do you think? I think look, I've watched the pendulum swing. Are you not watching the comments? More and more people are doubting Anthony Joshua now. It's changing. Perception is changing. Go through your Instagram posts and comments. Check it. People are posting pictures of Joshua on Instagram. Who can beat this man? More Mr. Wilders or Deontay Wilders are popping up. On comments, check how things have changed. And it's sad because boxing fans are fickle. This is all based off of Takam, knowing that in the Takam fight, we could possibly just be overanalyzing a fight in which a person couldn't get up for a last-minute replacement. For all we know, Anthony Joshua comes out his next fight and knocks out the best, version of whoever in a matter of seconds.
No, I agree with that. I've definitely seen it on social media and on our own platform. We definitely see more comments gearing towards Joshua ducking Wilder. But to answer the question by David very more directly, yes, I think Al Haymon wants Wilder to fight White first. I think Al Haymon wants the Joshua fight in this summer. I think a lot of those things are planned. I think Eddie Hearn and Al Haymon have been talking this entire time. And if you think they haven't, I think you grossly misunderstand the relationship between Eddie Hearn and Al Haymon, one that's been very friendly and very beneficial
for years now.
Yes. There is a theory amongst fans right now that Eddie Hearn and Al Haymon are going against each other because of Matchroom USA. And I don't understand that thought process. I don't understand it.
He was on our show and he made it clear that there was no issue. So I don't know.
But there is that theory amongst some fans. I just want to address that very fast. Eddie Hearn and Al Haymon are two of the biggest ballers when it comes to the business side of boxing. They're going to work together. They know it. They know they're going to make millions together. So there's no issue there.
And let me tell you, I think that the time is September, November. Actually, November, because September you already got Triple G and Canelo happening. Because Canelo is going to fight the winner of Lemieux Saunders in Cinco de Mayo, because that is the way boxing works. You don't just give us what we want. You have to make us salivate. You have to make us want it. We need to be like the Walking Dead when it comes. I can't wait. That's right. And that's how Wilder Joshua builds. But the problem there is it is a dangerous, dangerous path for Wilder, because if he doesn't get that opportunity, Tyson Fury can slide in. I believe that those millions and millions of dollars can make anyone get their mind together. But listen, we've been going back and forth. It's time to wrap this one up. Final thoughts, Matt, on our little discussion.
I don't know what's going to happen with Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury is still a huge question mark. I don't know if he's going to fight next year. I don't know if he's going to fight Joshua next year. There's tons of questions around Tyson Fury. I think if he comes back in 2018, he does make the heavyweight division more lively, more entertaining, but he also makes it more complicated, more complex, more moving parts, especially for a guy like Deontay Wilder. If Tyson Fury comes back, it could be a bad situation for Deontay Wilder, unfortunately. It's just because he does get pushed back on the queue. He does. He's not the number one guy that they can make money with. He's not the number two guy they can make money with anymore. Like, that's just a fact. Even though he may be the hardest fight out there for Joshua. But I'm Matt, the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Peace.
And my final thoughts are, Tyson, get it together. We can do it. Let's go, champ. Shed that weight in January. Those tweets become more realistic. You give your fight fans, something to believe in. And another thought goes out to the WBA president and Matthew the Hipster Hunter. There were rumors and articles a couple of months ago how the WBA was following suit and trying to do a VADA-like program, allegedly with VADA. I'd like to see, are they going to test Alexander Povetkin versus Christian Hammer in an eliminator for the WBA regular title, which gives him a mandatory shot at Anthony Joshua and another big payday, while simultaneously avoiding drug testing.
And if you are drug testing him, how many times are you testing him?
No, I don't care how many times, man. As long as it's VADA, I don't care, because I know they work.
No. Ness. When you test somebody a week before their fight, they're already so cycled off of the drugs.
Possibly, man, but VADA don't play. Possibly. You know that.
Go on Netflix, Ness, tonight. Trust me. No, it's Netflix. This is a little bit overtime. There's a documentary called Icarus on Netflix. It's about the Russian doping team. Basically, the entire team geared towards getting Russian athletes to take steroids. And those doctors who are giving these Russian athletes steroids say that 90% of the Russian Olympic team was on steroids. So I want tons of tests. I don't want to test the week before the fight. I want to test.
I hear you.
I want to test before the 8-week training camp.
I hear you.
Before that.
I hear you, but I'm living in the world that we live in where we don't get, random drug testing every week or 4 times a month or 2 times a month. So I'm living in this world where VADA has become my Superman for boxing in terms of drug testing. They have busted high-profile people. Names like Peterson and Berto and Luis Ortiz, they've made that common. So, yes, if VADA is attached, I at least feel comfortable, and so should everyone else, and people should demand that this WBA alleged they were going to be doing the same thing as the WBC, who fight fans like to take shots at, but this is one thing that they got correct. Yes, they may not be testing everybody as much as Matt and other people like, but they're at least fucking catching people. Anyway, I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel right here. Why? Because we always do spontaneous shows like this. This is a morning show, and if you're listening to this now, you knew that. If you aren't, it's the future, present, or past. So hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Don't forget to head on over to iTunes, drop a 5-star review, which also helps with the visibility of the show. And remember, this is also a podcast. You can get this in podcast form on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, and you can come over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice and check out exclusive content like my conversation with Sean Porter, Ken Porter, and their thoughts on facing Earl Spence. I know a lot of you sent me out there as a crusader to get you the answer, and I did. Have a good day